Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? My name is Shayna Singleton, aka the Herpes Goddess, and yes, half of me is a big flex. I am the founder of Herpes Can Never Grow, the largest herpes awareness platform, because I inspire people to love themselves more. Our mission here at Herpes Can Never is to be at war with the stigma until our community feels comfortable being open about their status and proud of their sexuality. Welcome. If you're catching the replay, comment, #replay. I see Euphoria's in the building. Make sure she sends a request. Let me get our here. Let's get Coach Belize on here. Let's get Amber on here. Is that you, Euphoria? Can't see yet. Hold on, let me get out of here. Oh, hi, beautiful. It's the hair for me, honey. Did you dye it?
Hi, my trashy Wi-Fi is just giving me a problem. Okay, I'm back.
This hair is giving me life. Come on now. Come on, color. It's giving very much Keisha Cole, but a little bit 10 times better. I love it.
I had to do something different. It was time. But thank you so much. I was so happy I did something tonight.
Yes, honey. Yes. Please introduce yourself to the room while we wait on the other ladies to come in.
All right, you guys. What's up? It's your girl Euphoria, the breathwork goddess tapping in. As you guys know, breathwork is my main focus because when we control our breath, we control our reality, our fear, and most of all for us in the herpes positive community, our stress. I want to thank you all so much for tapping in and taking your healing serious. Here, we are heard, seen, and loved. Thank you. But yes. I saw you just went to No, I saw you just went to a gallery. I saw the backgrounds. Where was that?
Yes.
That was so nice.
Okay, so my brother and sister, the people that I'm staying with right now, they are the owner of the Old Vero Selfie Museum over here in Vero Beach, Florida. So I was creating content for the Herpes and Diet Remedies video. It's like an update, and I asked to use their exhibit, and they let me. So that's where I was at.
Yeah.
Hi, Amber.
Thanks.
Please introduce yourself to the room, beautiful.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Amber. Watch Amber. I'm the confidence queen. I'm the co-founder of Herpes Can Never. Thank you for being here for 4 Black women with herpes. Hey Euphoria. Hey Shayna.
Hi.
Yes.
What's up?
Hey cousins who's coming in the room. Hey y'all.
Let me know if you're a new cousin. Let me know if you are a cousin. If you in the group, where you from. Let's blow the chat up. We have Belize in the building, so I'm so glad because we can get her on here to introduce herself before we get started.
Yeah.
Let me get her on here.
Belize was just on another live. I joined that live accidentally thinking it was this live. I was like, what? I was like, where? What? Wrong live.
Y'all know listen, you know, commitment is real. Hey, I'm here. I ain't gonna be here long, but I'm here.
Is your son trying out for the team right now? Yes or no?
He is, and I ain't watching.
Yeah, that's probably good for that's probably good for you that you're not. Like you just let him do his thing out there.
He said I already made it. I said, oh, okay.
Okay.
Period. Manifestation. Let's go.
Right. Right now they're just doing a scrimmage. So
Belize, please introduce yourself to the room, my love.
baby, can you turn your hey, can you turn that down? Still got that other place, you know, that other person back there. All right, I'm Belize Spivey. I am known as the SC Life Coach, the first Black woman to publicly let you show y'all how to do this thing. Figure it all out. That's who I am. But I'm also here to help you guys live your best life, knowing that herpes it don't do nothing. Like literally, it's all up to you to understand that you can overcome the stigma. You can live your best life. Nothing will stop you. Hey, child. That nothing can stop you from living your best life. And I am also the founder and the CEO of the first Black herpes treatment line in the world.
Wait a minute.
And I'm here with these amazing women because they love me and I love them.
Yes.
Y'all always y'all love on me in a special way. I mean, the show up is hard. Euphoria, that hair though.
I know.
I like that.
Look, I
I
had to
like
try
that.
something new, man. Before I lock it up, I had to just have one little hoorah. Last
I
hoorah.
Oh,
like
everybody's
it.
blocking their hair. Oh,
Now,
Amber,
while
you
we're
coming
on
back.
here,
We ain't worried. You temporarily doing that. You coming back.
me, I am coming back for sure. I am coming back.
once I grow this top out, I'm gonna be right there with y'all. It's
I'm
coming
going,
in.
definitely going back to the lot.
Your hair grew back fast.
This thing grow like weeds. That's why I keep it cut, because I don't want to deal with it. But I'm on this journey. Ooh, child.
Hey, Kim K. Who else said hi that I got to say hi to really
Hey,
quick?
cousins.
I saw, I can't scroll up, but hey to the cousins who said hi. Hey, y'all. Oh, yeah,
Hey,
let's go ahead.
cousins.
Let's go ahead and tap in with the 41 cousins on the live. At the top of the screen, right next to the word live, it says, how many people's on here? We got 41 cousins. Then it says live, and then right next to it to the left, it's like a down arrow. It's like a little white V that looks just like that. Tap that, and it's going to drop down, and you're going to see all 4 of the Black women with herpes. Make sure you tap. Follow. Y'all see us doing the gesture. Y'all see, tap, 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 tap. Make sure you follow all the cousins. It's the follow train. Hit us all, or follow all the 4 Black women with herpes. It's the follow train. We appreciate all the love. I just want to say that. Shayna, what's up for today, Queen?
So it's mental health awareness. We're doing this month, right? And I'm constantly talking about energy and how we must protect our energy. It's important. It's vital for us, especially when static energy lowers our immune system and then what? Triggers on an outbreak. So it's important to be mindful of your energy. We're like a frequency. We go up and down, up and down. No one has something that goes straight like this. Even if they're going straight like this, they're still doing this on the way up. Now, a lot of us, when we find out we have herpes, we stay very low and we struggle coming up, right? So in our healing journey, we start to rise as we're doing this on our frequency wave. It is important to know when you're going down on your downslope. If you cannot pinpoint when you're going down on your downslope, it might lead you back to that dark place, and the darkness will consume you. The negativity will consume you and keep you down here. So today I want to talk about, how do you know when you are depressed? How do you know when your energy is getting taken down? How can you identify that? Me personally, this is embarrassing, but when I am going through my depression phases, I'm someone who struggled with anxiety and depression for a majority of my life. I skip showers, and my room and my space starts to get very cluttered. The minute I start seeing clutter around, I know I'm going through one of my down phases. Now, Amber, she has known me for a long time now. She knows that my down phase, I'm very aware of my down phases, and they don't last for too long. And I want to ask you ladies, how do you know when your frequency is going down?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So for me, when I notice that my frequency is going down, I tend to feel tightness in my neck and my shoulders. I know it's just a weight. I know I got to like shake it off. I got to go dance. I got to get up. I got to move. I got to sing. I got to do something. I got to freestyle, poetry, write, be creative. That's what I notice mostly. And then also, I do also have a thing where I start to notice little things and sections of junk and like clutter and stuff like that. And I do also sometimes fight with the shower when I'm feeling like, ugh. But for the most part, it's usually just when I'm feeling this tightness in my neck. That's when I know for sure it's something really going on. I need to like and could get right back at it. So that's for me.
Okay. Feel free in the chat to list how you know when you're going through a depression phase or when your energy may be going low. We would love to hear your experience as well. It might be something that we become aware of with us. So please share. Amber, Belize?
Yeah, I see it says Kim K says I typically sit in the dark all day and really have a bunch of nightmares. That's interesting, that knowing that. But I like how you mentioned that, me knowing you, I have known you long enough to where you've fallen into those down spaces. You have been very aware of those, which aware of what's happening. I lose all motivation. Nurse Hodge, that's the same kind of for me. So it's more so where I just want to sleep all day. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to be productive. And I don't even really want to watch TV. I just want to lay with as little sensation around as possible. Also, another thing for me is when my room gets messy, because like I'm very much the military. I make my bed every morning. I just like no dishes in the sink at night. I just have these certain things. I know how I like to keep my space. And when I come in and there's piles of clothes, when I don't make my bed, that's how I really know. When I go multiple days in a row without making my bed, that means I'm rushing. That means I'm not allowing myself time. That means I'm not prioritizing it. That's how I know that I'm just getting what little done I have to get done during the day, and like avoiding all like what I really need to be doing. So that's how I know when I start to get messy and I just I have zero motivation.
Thank you for sharing that. I lose motivation too in my phases. Like I don't want to do anything. We have cousin Freely. She said my depression phase, I don't care as much and I keep to myself and I sleep a lot more. Someone says negative thoughts are okay. Oh, I missed it already. I'm sorry. These comments are going fast. Someone said overthinking everything. Hi Rita, we see you. How about you, Belize?
Yeah.
For me, number one, I start sleeping more. I start watching television, and I do not watch TV. I'm not a TV girl. I start binge watching like show after show, and all the shows are like an hour. Okay, I'm spending all my time watching television. I'm barely eating. I disappear. Like even in business, y'all may not even notice. I disappear. I'm
I
not
noticed that.
consistent. Right. I'm not consistent at that time. I do bare minimum. Like I don't take showers. I was like, I don't stink to me. I had just been sitting here, type thing. So I just get cluttered. I just pretty much all of what you guys, I kind of like, it's all piled into one. But my biggest thing, I start sleeping and I start watching a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I got to hear what happens with y'all because it made me think. I watch TV too. That's when I'm laying around, being lazy, not doing anything, binge watching shows. So
Mm-hmm.
I can really relate to that. I think my next question would be is in your awareness, seeing these signs pop up in your life, what do you all do for yourself in order to take yourself out of that downslope and bring you back up?
Well, I'll say for me personally, I get up and I need to dance. Like I literally have to dance to make the tension in my body go away. Whether it be me twerking, whether it be me stretching, whether it be me just moving my hips, listening to one of my favorite songs, like one of my like the album about meditation or just anything, any kind of music. I'm just a music girl because I don't really like TV anyway. So for me, it's just always putting on music and just moving, just getting up and just getting back in my body. Because I feel like when I get depressed, it's like my spirit is like somewhere else and I'm just here. Like my consciousness is elsewhere, but my body is just blah. So I just need to move to get my spirit back up for me personally. And a little bit of breath work too. Breath work always helps as well.
For me, I just finally take a shower. I think that's the thing. It's kind of like a refreshing, like go take a bath, and then I start cleaning up. It's kind of like preparing myself. Like, okay, you're getting up now. So do what's important. Make sure you're fresh. Clean my room. I make my bed up. Like you can't get back in it. And then I also get some accountability where I'll talk to a friend and say, hey, I'm not in a good place. And literally some of my friends will sit with me and say, so what you doing next? Now what you doing now? No, you're not going to do that. And that helps me as well to keep me out of that place where I get that accountability.
Yes, I love that. Let's get
Yeah.
into the comments real quick. Someone says to shake the feeling, I start cleaning and listening to music. I can relate. I let it run its course. I never pay attention to how I get out of it. Well, Kim K, don't let it run its course. Be active in those moments, break the habit of letting it run its course and create a new habit where you're really going to war with yourself. Do something good for yourself. Tend to your self-care in those moments, okay? Someone said God gave you this mission for a reason. Thank you, Jasmine. That's thank you from all of us. I pray and let myself go through the motions. I allow myself to be emotional and get past it if it makes sense. For the most part, the good overpowers the bad. I surround myself with good energy. Freely says, I start trying to keep myself as busy as possible so I won't think about it. And now that I have a child, I pour into her more. I want to get back into that freely, but Amber, please share, what do you do to uplift yourself in those moments?
I just go to like, I go back to what I already know, right? I
Mm-hmm.
know that it's my mind. I know that it's a temporary feeling. I know that a lot of times I'm not going to feel like having to snap back or feel like bringing myself out of however I'm feeling mentally. So it's just like, that's the thing. A lot of times people, we wait for us to feel like we want to do it to do it, and you got to do it, and then that's when the feeling comes. So I just get back into a routine. I will myself through it. Like if I just start, I don't know, wherever I need to start, wherever I'm lacking, I just make the conscious decision to make myself do whatever it is I need to do at the time. So it's really like the mind over matter. What your mind thinks, your body will do, so your body will follow. So it's just about that mental toughness, that mental awareness, that like tapping back into the skills that you had to, boom, pray is such a good one. Tapping back into the skills that you, like, you know, that you've been putting into place for moments like this, and definitely praying. I love that one as well.
Yes, yes. I myself, I have like a routine. Um, I will pray out loud. I'll set my altar up. I'll light my candles. I'll have my scent going. I will pray out loud and immediately after meditate, then journal. I'm a person that has to hear my thoughts. And when I'm going through my downslope, there's something bothering me. And even if I'm not aware of what's bothering me, it's important for me to know what it is. So I have to pray out loud to hear myself. I meditate, I sit with my thoughts, and then I journal through them to have a good understanding of what the hell is going on with me. And then afterwards, I like to be, if one thing, depression is not going to stop me from doing my affirmations and saying what I'm grateful for. And those affirmations and practicing gratitude has really been a lifesaver for me, because when I go into my dark space, I start to think of all the bad. So when I combat it with gratitude, it takes me out of the space of thinking about everything wrong going on in my life and focusing on everything right that's going on in my life.
Yes, gratitude, attitude of gratitude. Can
Yes.
never being grateful. And that's a good one, Shayna. Like, I have a little book and I just have to be more mindful about it. But I try to write 10 things I'm grateful for at the end of every day. For, like, yes, it's helping me in the present. Writing them down, that's very helpful. But it's really for when you, maybe you fall into one of these slumps or you fall into one of these mental pitfalls and you're looking for things. Your mind is escaping like how really much you have to be grateful for. You can go back and read. I can go back and read 3 months ago. Okay, back in February, what did I say I was grateful for? February 14th or February 17th or March 6th. What 10 things did I say? And even reading those things will put me in a better space. I'm like, wow, girl, you made it through that day, or just it make me just reflect on the days I've made it through and how we really do at the end of every single day, we do have so many things to be grateful for. So reminding myself of
Right.
that helps too.
I have a practice that I used to do with my clients maybe a year ago, and I switch it from things that make you happy and things that you're grateful for. I set
Mm.
the timer for 10 seconds. This is the long extended version. Now I'll do 5 seconds for me, but I'll set the timer for 10 seconds and I'll ask my client to list 10 things that make them happy or 10 things that they are grateful for. And a lot of my clients can only list like maybe 2 or 3 things in that time.
Mm.
And I challenge them to practice doing that every day so that the next time I ask them to list me something in 10 seconds, it's easy. I say
Mm.
all of this to say is, since I practice gratitude in my journaling and I do it at least 5 days out of the week, at those moments when I am depressed and it's time to really practice gratitude, the things I'm grateful for and the things that make me happy pop into my mind quickly and easily because I've made it a practice in my life. This wasn't always this way, y'all. Before I met myself in 2017, I could never get myself out of a dark space to list the things that I was grateful for. But if you make a habit and be very intentional practicing what you're grateful for, and figuring out the things that make you happy, those moments when you need to do it, it's going to come easy.
Yes.
Okay. Let me look at the
Okay,
comments. The
Sucker
comments
Free
are moving.
taking notes. Okay, we see you. Take them notes.
You better take them notes.
Love that.
Oh,
We love to see that.
now we got these comments going. Someone said for sure. Okay. All right. So let's a little bit more on things that might make us feel better during our depression phase, right? We say take a shower, clean up, start taking care of yourself. But all of those things start to happen when we start going back this way, right? So what outside of that, what are you doing in your mind at the time when you're going through your downslope? What is going on in you ladies' mind?
Okay, I'm still here, guys.
Okay.
I will say in my mind, things that go on, like you guys said, I try to just think about things that make me happier, things that make me feel more at peace. Like, instead of overthinking all the things that make me upset or the things that I'm feeling depressed about, I try to counteract that. But also in that same breath, I just always think about the fact that, you know, I'm here for a purpose. I woke up today. So I still have so much more to go. And especially me having a little person, my son, of course, that's the main thing. Like, just waking up and knowing that I want his reality to reflect what it should be versus what it has to be, or what it, you know, anything other than greatness. I know in that moment, okay, it's time to get up. Forget everything else. Like, okay, boom, you were sad about this, but it's for the baby. Everything for Marcel, everything for Marcel. And that literally like snaps me out of it immediately.
Okay.
That is good. I can be honest. My last go round, I sat in it as long as I needed to.
Okay.
I didn't budge. I was like, I'm not coming back. So for me not to come back, if I have to stay here a long time, I'll stay. I just made up my mind. So I'm not coming back here. Like, I don't like this place, and next time it probably will kill me. And I mean, literally, I was getting very suicidal. So I was like, I can't come back here again. So I sat in it for a while, and I said, okay, if you're not gonna come back, what you gonna do? What are you gonna say to yourself so you will not have those thoughts again? And I just started developing different skills, being around certain people. I invest into a mindset coach, somebody who just everything good to her. I'm looking like, girl, that's not realistic. But at the end of the day, it has me thinking like that. I end up getting around people who had the mindset I wanted. Yeah. And a mindset like that all the time, even when they were down, they still had this mindset. So I told myself, I said, you're going to get around people that you stay that way, and you're going to force yourself to stay that way. I have bad days, y'all. Today ain't no good day. Y'all can tell my energy is off. Okay. But still, I'm moving. I'm still committing. I'm not quitting, because I told myself I will never go back. If y'all know anything about me, that's the reason I'm here today. I told myself herpes will not take me out. Yes. That's why I'm here. So I learned that's one thing about myself. When I'm solid on it, I just have to find ways to just stick at it and just don't go back. I don't look backwards. Don't ask me what I did yesterday. It don't matter. It don't freaking matter. I can't even tell you what happened in the last hour. I forget all past.
Yeah.
And I just keep moving forward and looking at what I can currently do now. What is my response now? Also, I'm in a place of realizing, Belize, you're human. You have the right to get mad. You have the right to be sad. I cried today, y'all. I boo-hooed. Like, I have the right to feel that way. I have the right to be upset. I have the right to be triggered. But I also have the right not to stay. And if I stay, it's me. So now I'm in a place where I have learned more accountability, and I can thank these ladies for that as well. I have learned the importance of being accountable. And I feel like that's one thing about depression. When you are depressed because you're not accountable, and you stay there long because you're choosing not to be. And it's as much as you want everybody to help you, they can't. You're only there because you have allowed thoughts and situations, something has took you to this place, and you just feel like you cannot get out of the hole. But I tell you now, even if somebody throw you a rope, you're the only one who can pull out.
Yeah. That part.
Belize dropped so many gems, y'all. Like, sometimes you just got to up and decide. Yeah, you decide you ain't never going back. No, for real though. Like, you gotta up and decide mentally. Like, And the days you don't want to show up, like showing up them days, that's so big. Like, today is a good day. You're like, man, I could be
Today is
anywhere.
that day.
Yes, I feel you. And to like show up for yourself when you even don't want to, that's just so dope. So thank you for sharing some practical stuff. Some days you really ain't gonna want to, but you gotta do it anyway. And so those days, like literally up and deciding. So thank you for sharing that. That helped me for sure.
Yes.
Shout out to the cousins on the live. Okay, it's 26th chapter. Shameless plug. It's time to make sure you following all 4 of the Black women with herpes. These conversations happen every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We take turns rotating who starts the live. And so you never want to miss out on the live and which one of the 4 Black women start this each Wednesday. So click that arrow right next to the word live. It's going to drop down with all 4 of our profiles. Click follow, 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 follow. So make sure no matter who you came to this live through that you're following or all 4 of the Black women with herpes. Thank you for all the cousins who's tapping that follow button. We see y'all. We love y'all. We're talking about mental health, depression, how we know when we're hitting a low point and kind of what we do from there. So Shayna's facilitating the conversation today. So what's tea, sis?
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Look at Nada. I got to shout her out. She said it's the first time she's catching one of our lives. And she's really happy. Thank you for being here. Freely, inner peace.
Welcome.
Hey.
Herpes can never. Let's go.
Did y'all plan the shirts? I just want to know if y'all plan the shirts.
No,
We just wear them every day.
It's just divine timing.
I wonder if they said they gonna put on their shirts today.
Literally 2
2
minutes before the live.
Look, I said I was, but I had to go to my son's trumpet recital. That's the only reason I don't have mine on.
Oh my God. Beloved Vending Services said this is my first time too. Hold on. Heath. This is your first time on the live. I don't believe it.
Him lying.
Just want to know where I can purchase a t-shirt. T-shirts are not on sale, so we don't have them. We did drop them. And so if you are one of the few cousins who got some merch before we took it off the site, that's what's up. We're going to bring the merch back when Shane and I are together in Florida. We're going to see which shirt to bring back first. It's probably going to be the herpes positive, shame negative. The cousins love to see that one. So shirts are not available right now, but be on the lookout. We're going to drop merch here later on this summer. So summer and fall, we'll bring it back.
Yep, but y'all didn't congratulate me, but it's fine. Congratulate you. What we congratulating you on?
I don't know. Let us know, Nafis.
Want some love? We love you.
First timer, says Karen. Hey to the first time cousins joining the live. So happy.
Welcome, cuz. And the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, sixth, seventh, distant cousins.
The OG
we all love you.
The OG cousins.
The OG cousins.
We love all the cousins.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So today we're talking mental health. A lot of people think you can just change your diet and your herpes is going to go away, but your diet might support your immune system, but there's other things that can lower your immune system as well. Again, dehydration, lack of sleep, and most importantly, stress, static energy. And this is why it's so important for us to talk about our mental health. The last question that I asked was, what is going on in your mind while you're going through your downslopes? Coach Belize, the answer was outstanding. Euphoria's as well. And for me, myself, I go through a mental battle with my ego. It's literally, have you ever seen the white and the red angels sitting on someone's shoulder? That's usually what is going on in my mindset. And just like Belize, when I was 13 years old, I tried to unalive myself, hence why I got the semicolon tatted on my arm. I went back to that dark place after having my son. And the only thing that saved me out of that dark place was my son. I had to live for him in that moment. And I had to find a way to get myself out of this dark place. I really noticed how my energy impacted his energy directly, and it made me aware how my energy impacts a lot of people's energy. My energy really influences the energy of the room. And my son wasn't as happy as much as he was sad when he was a baby. And I wanted to change my reflection, and I did that through him. a part of me doing that was combating all my negative thoughts. So every time I would have a negative thought about myself, and I still do this to this day, every time I have a negative thought about myself and I'm aware of it, I instantly say the positive opposite. I don't care if I don't believe it in that moment. I make sure that I say it. That is how I show up for myself when I am going through those dark times. I'm literally going to war with me versus me in my head. I accept what I feel. I'll cry through it. And then afterwards, try to combat those feelings and replace it with something new. Again, gratitude, journaling, going through my thoughts, figuring out what is wrong with me. Why am I here again? When was the last time I felt like this before? Is it related to heal whatever is going on with me? How about you, Amber? What is going on in your mind, huh?
I'm sorry. I was in our Facebook group. What's going on in my mind? What?
When you're going through your down slopes in your frequency, like
I
your
talk
when your
negative
energy is coming
self-talk.
down. Like, what are you doing? We talked about the activities we do to pick us up, right? We talk about the signs of when we're going through depression. My next question is, mentally, what is going on? Like, what are you doing, or what is happening? Do you just let your thoughts roam in those moments, or what is going on?
Negative self-talk. Talking like defeating energy,
Doubt.
just old stagnant negative thoughts, and like, this is how it's always gonna be, it's never gonna change, like, you ain't S, like, I mean, maybe not that, but literally, like, just, yeah, it's like downward spiral for sure. So it's just like one thought can turn into two thoughts, and it's like turn into four thoughts to eight thoughts. It's like they just keep splitting. Or I just might ruminate on like one thought and I just can't shake it. Like, that's why this has happened, or that's why this has not happened, or this must be why I'm in the situation that I'm in. So it's either ruminating thought or multiple thoughts, but it's all just like this spiral of me talking down into myself, which again, I know that that's not okay, but it doesn't stop that from actually happening sometimes, though.
Yeah. I love that you brought just the negative self-talk up, because some of us are not aware of the negative self-talk. Sometimes the negative self-talk is so natural because that's what you was raised around. Your mom has negative self-talk. Your aunties, your uncle, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your ancestors before you, your great-great-great-grandma that you never met but passed it down to your grandmother and passed it down to your mama. Their negative self-talk gets passed down to you. It's generations of negative self-talk. So I guess the next question is, how do you come into that awareness? And I'm just going to volunteer to answer this question first, only because I always tell y'all I met myself in 2017. And in that moment in my life, I noticed this is what I was doing all the time. I wasn't responsible for nothing in my life. Everything was always everyone's fault. The ex did that to me, the way my mama raised me, the mean grandmother, my father being murdered. It was everyone's fault but my own. I never took power over my life. And once I had that realization, I became more aware of the things that I was saying to myself. And I'm like, damn, Shay, you are extremely negative. You're fluent in negativity. And it made me reflect on my past relationships when I wasn't aware, and my relationship with my child's father. Every time he would do something wrong, it was so easy for me to spew out negativity and point out all the things he did wrong. But every time he would do something right, I wasn't pouring into him positivity the way I would pour into him negativity when I was upset. How about y'all? How did you guys become aware of your negative self-talk, or just negative thoughts in general?
Like I was saying earlier, I sat there. I just sat in it. I guess I finally slowed myself down. I am high functioning. I was very high functioning. I ain't gonna lie. majority of the time I've been an advocate, I have been depressed. I'm very high functioning. I'm able to perform very well under depression. And I had to realize that's not what I want you guys to deal with. I don't want y'all to be like me. So I have to fix me, type thing. So I had to sit long enough and say, sit down, don't do nothing. They'll be all right. They ain't gonna miss you. You think they gonna miss you, but they not. You have produced enough that they will be okay. So I had to stop worrying about everybody else and finally do what I was doing for others for myself. So I just sat still. And that was the hardest thing to do, was to be still. Like, my mom is very high functioning too. Like, that's something, it's in my bloodline. We're very high functioning. None of y'all would ever knew. Never. I mean, I'm performing at a high level, all energy. Y'all would never knew. Some days were bad days, baby. They were real bad days. But nobody ever knew. So I had to tell myself, stop performing and be it, not perform it, be it. Like, for real, be happy, for real, have the energy, for real, like, what you feel, manifest it and see it. Like, for real, see it in your life. And I had to sit still long enough to figure that out. And when I did, woo, things just like boom, boom, boom. Even a relationship for these ladies, it manifests into this beautiful thing, because I was like, no faking, for real. Like, for real, feel it, for real, want it, for real, be accountable for it, like, for real, work for it. And I think that's the thing that a lot of us don't want to say, is that, are you really working for it? Because if you're not, it's going to show in your private times. When you're in a low place, to let you know you're really not working.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Come on.
That was good.
Come on.
No, ask the questions, challenge the people. Everybody in the comments. I don't know what's going on in the comments. I see some like debate back and forth about some copay. I don't know what y'all talking about, cousins,
Me
but
neither.
distracting to the mission. Please dead the conversation, or we might dead it for you respectfully.
Yeah,
Only
respectfully.
because this is like literally what we're talking about here. What Belize said, literally. Yeah, how many of you are really doing the work? Because you're gonna find when the rubber meets the road, you're gonna find what you're really made of and how much you've really been doing the work. And for a lot of the community, what for a lot of the community, I think that because the advantage of having us here as advocates, and you can see our faces, you can hear our stories, you can see our strength and be inspired and motivated, or you can just see the transparency that we share and then we encourage you to share. You may think for a second that it didn't take us all going through some things and doing some work that, you can't really avoid. You can't cut across the field in your healing journey, because the cracks are going to be exposed. And so being aware of yourself and knowing that you are in this negative place, it takes an awareness of self that only comes with sitting in it, like Belize said, spending time and not avoiding it, not coping, not using sex,
Running away.
Yes, not being distracted by anything and just feeling it, because that's when you could say, okay, I know what this feels like, this, and then go from there. So you can't avoid the work, because eventually life is going to put you in a situation to where it's going to test how much you really have, invested. And just because the amount of time has passed does not mean work has been done. Don't confuse the length of time that's passed, maybe since your diagnosis, maybe since whatever you might be referencing. Oh, it's been years. There has to be all this progress. Not necessarily true. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you, Amber. And let me tell y'all, coping. Amber said coping. I used to be an alcoholic, y'all. My last drink was December of 2018. That skyrocketed my healing journey, because now I wasn't avoiding the work. I could see clearly now. Alcohol was an escape for me when it got too much. And then once I decided to put that down, I really had to deal with the bully in the mirror. One thing that I've learned in my journey is that when everything is going wrong in your life, you have to check your inner circle. You have to check the 3 people closest to you and do some rearranging. Probably move them off of your circle and replace them with 3 new people. we all get to our down slopes. We all get low vibrations. We all become depressed. But one thing that I am grateful for is that in my circle, we're all intentionally and actively healing. So even if I am depressed, I have a circle of people who are wanting to heal, wanting to evolve, wanting to push forward. So it pushes me out of that space. Now,
Yes.
if I didn't have this circle, guess what? And I'm depressed and I'm surrounding myself with depressing people and all negative people, it's going to keep me stuck. People are going to start feeding me their negativity, and they're not going to do it intentionally. They're stuck under there. They're probably not even in their awareness. They're probably not even healing. They're just stuck, and they're feeding it to me, and they're feeding my ego, and it's making me believe in my thoughts and my depression even more, sinking me down further. So you have to be mindful of the people that you guys surround yourself with. They're called energy vampires. They don't
Absolutely.
even mean to do it. Sometimes when I've been depressed and I wasn't in my awareness, I was an energy vampire. I
Mm.
wanted the people around me to feel the same way as me. I will bond with individuals because we share the same pain. But once I moved forward in my healing journey, guess what? A lot of my friends and family members fell out of my life. It was sad, it was hurtful, but it needed to be done because we no longer bonded over the same trauma anymore. We no longer bonded over negativity and being depressed. They may have still been in it, and I've been healed and I'm moving forward from it, and now we have nothing to relate about. So it's important. It's so
Yeah.
important that you check the people closest to you when everything is going on in your life. You change those three people up, I promise you, it will change for the better or it can change for the worse if you're not
Yeah.
mindful. Amber?
Yes, that like elevation requires separation is a real thing. Like people will fall off as you heal. People like that you've been bonded to through trauma. People that you've been bonded to out of brokenness.
Yep.
People that you've been bonded to out of low vibrations. Like as you literally begin to heal, you do some changing in your life, your energy starts to change. You start to be lighter and more free because you've dealt with your own stuff in some areas. People will fall away, and you have to realize that and not just say, everybody knows elevation requires separation. Everybody knows everybody can't go. Everybody knows you lose people as you heal. Like, we know these sayings, but do you know how true they are? And how, like, when it happens in your life, are you going to take, like, oh no, I don't want to lose these relationships, or because you don't have them anymore, you might not be as close with people you used to be close with. You don't know what you're struggling to find your identity. Who am I now that I don't spend my time with these, like as much time with these same people? What am I doing too much because I'm trying to heal? Like questioning yourself and some of your decisions. So just being aware of the fact that you literally are impacted by the people that you spend time with, whether you realize it or recognize it or not. It is very true. And so my life has changed dramatically, even in this year that I've known Shayna, because she's a new person. She's one of the three people closest to me now. 2 years ago, that wasn't the case. I didn't even know who she was, right? But here we are 2 years later, because I've done work and I've shed people that I used to spend a lot of time with. And now I don't spend any time, very little time with. Those three people have shifted and adjusted, but I'm so happy to look at the people that are closest to me now and see what they're doing, see how aware of their self they are, see how committed to their own healing they are personally, because that lets me know I'm on the right path. When I look around me and I see people doing shit for themselves, working for themselves, building in their own lives and healing. And so that's just valuable as well. So I wanted to say that because I'm just like, you are who
Okay.
you out with, and I didn't realize how true that was. I'm like, no, like, yeah, but no, it really,
It's
you can't
true.
help it. You're giving these people your energy. You spend time with them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be
Euphoria?
one to say this. Me being a person who does hair, I spend a lot of time with my clients. I actually have went through the phase of not having any friends pretty much the
Mm.
last 3 years of my life. Before I met Shane and before I met Amber, I was already on that selective energy kind of diet.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I felt like, okay, moving into this new space of me being an entrepreneur, I'll just, have relationships and friendships with my clients. Sometimes that isn't always healthy because sometimes people are attracted to you because of your light. We
Mm.
always have this conversation. So they will come to you because they see that you're such a bright beacon of energy and they want to, like they said, be energy vampires to you. And I've had a lot of clients who literally just come and it's like the whole entire time is just, oh, and da 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 da. You can hear the frequency in their voice. Like they don't even sound like, hi, like, I'm so happy to be here. Like you could just hear the frequency in their throat
Mm.
chakra that they're carrying. So for me, when I started my spiritual journey, publicly with you all, it was just for me a space of saying, I'm no longer going to entertain all of these people. Let me try a few days of not using my throat chakra and see what I get in return. Because I'm a talkative person when I'm a hairstylist. I love to talk to my clients, try to coach them through life because I always call myself a crown adjuster. But I took a few days sometimes to just not say anything and see what energy I get back in return from my clients. Because those are the people that I spend my time with. I really stray away from family members and things like that because we're all on different paths. I'm the oldest of 5. I don't really have the time to really, check in with everybody and see what they're doing. And same for them as me. They're all in college, they're all graduates, things like that, moving on to their internships. So for me, I say in my healing journey, I've just learned that, like they said, the people that you spend the majority of your time with are very, 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 very important. But also understand that sometimes too much solitude is a bad thing as well. You do need people. You do need to replace those people that you have taken out of your life. You cannot just sit with yourself because as bad as it is to say, you need a little bit of comparison contrast. You need a little bit of competitiveness. You need people next to you that are pushing you forward to the next step. You can't have nothing because then you have nothing to look at and you're just looking at yourself and you just think that everything you're doing is okay. Sometimes you do need those people around you to just push you a little bit. They help, but just make sure they're doing it in a positive way. That's, good for you because there's different kinds of coaches. For instance, there's a basketball coach that yells at his teammates. Some people really do prosper off of that. They do need to be yelled at. They do need to be told to do 20 push-ups. They do need that. But then there are the other people who need, delicate, gentle coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I talked about in the last week where we talked about LCI connections. People just need different things from different people. So just make sure that the person that you have around you in your ear is coaching you the way that you need to be coached. Don't let someone coach you how they want to coach you and tell you how to do things the way that they need you to do it, even if it would produce positive results. Make sure that the people in your ear are doing it in a way that you deem necessary and that is healthy for you and your mental space. I'll close out and say that.
You're on mute, boo.
Make sure you're keeping people who are sharper at certain things than you. You don't want to be the best at everything. You don't want to be the smartest person. You need people. Iron sharpens iron. So make sure that is what your circle is doing. Clarence, we see you. Clarence says, thank you all for sharing. As a Marine, it is not my nature to share thoughts weird, differently, and trying to get back to old self. Well, Clarence, I am a Army veteran and Amber is an Air Force veteran. So shout out to you,
Shout out.
Battle.
Armed
Sorry,
services family.
so sorry you're a Marine. So sorry that you're a Marine. But
Because we was gonna talk shit. Because Shayna's, I'm surprised she didn't say Chair Force or Care Force when she said Air Force. I knew she wanted to hate, but she put some respect on it. But yeah, it's we know it's gonna talk crazy to you. But yeah, Clarence, welcome.
Welcome, Clarence. I wanted to say one more thing about being a light worker. Euphoria mentioned how people are drawn to your light. And in this work, all 4 of us, Belize, Amber, Euphoria, and myself included, we are raising the vibrations of the earth. We are making people feel better about themselves and want to go on the journey of loving themselves more. That is our influence, and I am extremely proud of that. But in doing this work, I noticed that people are attracted to the light, especially when they are in darkness. Now, some people are going to want to heal. They're going to want a piece of that light because they've been in the darkness too long and they don't know how to get to the light, but they see it in you and they say, this person is going to help me get there. Then some people are going to see your light, maybe friends and family, people that you grew up with, and it's going to expose their darkness. Your light is going to shine so bright that it exposes their darkness so much. They're going to do everything in their power to dim your light so that no one is looking at their darkness. Those are the energy vampires that we speak of. And they might not do it intentional. So please, 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 please don't fault your family and friends, especially when they fall off, okay? When you decide to heal intentionally, you're going to heal all the people around you as well. And some people are not going to be ready for that healing. Some people don't want to be aware. Some people's not going to be ready for that level of awareness. So you got to leave people with peace, love, and light and continue to move forward. Because the minute you're negative about that, guess what you're doing? You're turning your experience to a negative experience.
Shout out to the cousins in the comments. Like, I just thought that was so good.
Thank you. Clarence,
I'll even add and say this, guys, right? For instance, myself personally, I've never been a depressed person up until recently. I've experienced my first moment in depression when I had my surgery recently. And like Belize was saying before, I caught myself attempting to show up, even though I knew that I still needed time down, right? But in that same space, it was teaching me to be a fighter, to fight for my right to have my light, right? Because a lot of the times, you know, when, like Belize said, it was so hard for me to actually take that time and say, I'm not going to post reels. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to show up for Healing Wednesdays. I'm not going to do this. I'm not. Because I'm so used to saying, I am. So in those moments where you're seeing that you're falling towards what might be depression, or you're noticing it for the first time in your life, like myself, I had to experience my depression on, you know, in a space where I'm now, you know, being looked at by multiple people. People were looking to me for light. People were still DMing me, asking me questions about outbreaks and things of that nature. And I really was just trying to focus on myself. And it was pushing me even further into that dark space. But when it came to me wanting to do the work, that's when I had to show up for myself. That's when I had to say, you know what? I'm going to put my phone on airplane mode. I'm not going to show up for this. I'm not going to show up for that. And I'm going to show up for me. And in that space, now that I've done that, I can feel again. You know, I can feel the energy flowing in. I can do the breath work and start to feel the energy. I can pull the vibration up in the room. I sense it. I notice it now. Needless to say, doing the work is the most important part, because when you do the work, you will see the results literally almost instantaneously. When you stop that negative self-talk, that negative headspace, you just see it in everything you do. When you wake up in the morning, how you feel when you want to get up out the bed. Do you want to get up and go ahead and get, you know, wash your face? Or do you want to sit down in the bed and just play on your phone for a few minutes and check your, you know, emails and stuff? For me, I take 5 minutes to just lay there. I do a meditation, then I get up. Personally, it gives me a chance to, you know, start the car, get the engine warm and running. But now, I don't even do that anymore. I just, boom, I'm up. Okay, what's next? Let me go ahead and clean up and make the bed. Let me go make my son's lunch. Like, doing that work and really just recharging your battery, you get to come back and bounce back 10 times harder. So guys, do not push yourself and pressure yourself on trying to come back so quick. Just know that when you come back with a new light. And I feel like that's what has happened in this past month for me. Really just making that transition into that new light. And it's been so dope to just be able to do it, even though it's been publicly. It's just been a space of just realizing, no matter what anybody says, what anybody does around you, you still have to be responsible and accountable for you. And you have to wake up every single day and do everything for you. So just understand that you can't rely on other people's energy. You can't expect other people's energy to push you there. It all has to come from within. You have to one day and say, I don't care whether this person says you did good on this project. I don't care if this person, you know, likes my picture, likes this. You just get up and you like it. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's part of the healing.
You know, what was pivotal in my healing, even now, present in my life, is Sundays is my day. I'm very intentional with my Sundays is for me. I'm not going to be for work. I'm not going to be for anyone else. My Sundays are for me. I had to set that boundary. And this raised a thought. It's okay to tell people no when you are saying yes to yourself. It is okay
Right.
to tell others no when it means you are saying yes to yourself. So I made Sundays my self-care day. And then another thing that I do is every night when I go to sleep, I go to YouTube. I put in dark screen affirmations, maybe money and wealth affirmations, something to feed into my subconscious. Sometimes I just play a certain frequency and I'll let it play all night so that while I'm sleeping, I'm even feeding my subconscious with something positive. So when I'm waking up in the morning, I feel lighter and brighter. Every time that I forget to do that, I wake up like, ugh, and groggy and don't want to do anything. So it's important that I show up for myself in that way every single day. I've been intentional in showing up for myself and making sure that I feed my subconscious while I'm sleeping. So that might work for you all as well.
Yes, absolutely. Cousins, make sure you're following all of us. Go to the top of the live and tap the arrow. Shayna's pointing to it right now. Make sure you tap that arrow and follow all of us, right? So we here every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we want to make sure you're following all the 4 Black women with herpes. The STD life coach, also Belize, of course. Make sure you're following her. But Shayna said a mouthful. It's okay to tell others no when you're saying yes to yourself. I love one of the things I love about Shayna is her boundaries. She knows herself well enough to know where to set them, how to set them, what works for her, what doesn't work for her. Like, you get to know yourself that well to where you know what you need. Euphoria recognized back in the day how she would say yes, but she just, how she had to show up and say no because it meant saying yes to herself. Being aware, there's nothing more attractive than a person who knows their boundaries and actually enforces them and doesn't, you, even if you feel a type of way, processing through why you enforcing your boundaries, why it makes you feel the way it makes you feel, just understanding yourself to that level. So it's really, really valuable. And I'm so glad. Looks like the cousins are loving this conversation.
Well, Amber, can you talk about how, if you feel away, you said if you feel away, how about if somebody else feels away when you set a boundary? Red flag. Pay attention to the people in your life who get upset when you set a boundary for yourself.
Facts. That's it right there, y'all. I had to check someone today and I told him I'm working on my boundaries. If he can't respect them, I told him he had to go. Exactly. And then you know what you do? You stop talking and you let your actions speak for you. Because a lot of times we can run our mouths about what our boundaries are. No to this, I ain't doing this, or this is what I want, or this is what I need. Okay, this is what you want or need or require. Let your actions speak, because that was me. I was guilty of talking about it more than I was of being about it. And so what I've learned now is how much better I feel being about it, even though when enforcing those boundaries could sometimes, again, make other people feel some type of way, make yourself feel some type of way, but you will feel enforcing your boundaries has more of a delayed gratification type situation attached to it. It might not feel as good initially as it's going to feel later when you can celebrate how you did put your, enforce your boundaries because you know that it's for your own good. So shout out to the cousins who are actively enforcing their boundaries.
Recently, I'll give you an example of when I enforced the boundary for myself. I am currently in my season of becoming financially literate. And for the longest times, I will make commitments to other people and I will put myself in a financial bind in order to make that commitment to show up for the people that I love. Recently, a great friend of mine, the owners of Smoothie Skincare, asked me to be a part of their annual business pet party, which I was at last year. I really wanted to go. I always want to show up for them, but this time it was going to put me in a financial bind where I would have to dig into bags that I don't want to touch because those bags are for something else. And I had to get uncomfortable. I didn't want to tell them no. I didn't want to tell them that I can't show up. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to do everything in my power to make it for them. But I was doing myself a disservice. So I had the uncomfortable conversation with them to let them know that I wouldn't come. And I'm telling you this story to just emphasize how important it is to have great people in your corner. Because you know what they told me afterwards? Friend, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself and setting a boundary for yourself. They was like, we're sad that you can't make it, but it's okay. We're proud of your healing. We see you, girl. You know how much of a relief that was, and how I felt so much better and so proud of myself for doing that, that I can become addicted to that. I can become addicted to setting boundaries for me. We talk about the people that may get mad when you set a boundaries, and it might be a lot of people who've known you in the past. They've gotten so comfortable with the old you that when you become this new version of you, they just don't want to accept it. They want to hold you for your past and remind you for your past. It may be easy